that Roach may be the most skillful fighter you have fought in your career. Do you agree with that assessment, and how would you rate Roach's skills?
I agree. I totally agree. He got good skills. That's why he's here. You know what I mean?
I don't really care too much about the outside critics. I know what I could do in the ring, and that's the only thing that matters, honestly, is that I go out and give it my all and perform. And most likely, 9 times out of 10, when I do that, I'll be victorious.
As Gervonta, Tank Davis, and Lamont Roach faced the media during their first press conference ahead of their highly anticipated rematch yesterday, the atmosphere in Las Vegas was thick with tension. The stakes are clearly high for Tank, and it's showed. Leonard Ellerbay and Calvin Ford, key figures in Tank's camp, were brought back to the top table, underscoring just how significant this fight is for Davis. Both men addressed the crowd, sharing their thoughts and support ahead of the showdown. When it came time for the fighters to speak, Lamont Roach approached the lectern first. Unlike before, he kept his remarks brief, offering thanks to those present and vowing to deliver an even stronger performance in the upcoming rematch.
From Tank.
I take that compliment very well, and it lets me know that he is 100% focused, and that he gonna bring his A game. You know, that's what's all a part of this. Is gonna make it a great fight. That's what a lot of people are missing. That's what, you know what I'm saying, a lot of people don't get. So that's the thing right there. Like he's attentive, he's aware. And he know that, and that's part of the, you know, that's what got him here.
I know I faced the best version of Tank in the first fight, but I hope he comes back even better. I'm ready for whatever he brings on fight night, and trust me, I'll be bringing more, Roach declared as he returned to his seat. One of the most vocal members of Gervonta Davis's team, Leonard Ellerbay, had spoken just moments before Roach. During his remarks, Ellerbay repeatedly stressed that Tank had personal issues to deal with during the last fight, suggesting that, as well as Lamont had performed, he was ultimately facing a distracted version of Davis.
Say Tank Davis, we gonna see. He's gonna let you know there are a few things on the table, so we'll see what happens. In your opinion, does Gervonta Davis versus Shakur Stevenson ever happen? Of course. Why not? Why not? That's the fight the world wants.
I take nothing away from Lamont, Ellerbay began, but the Tank you saw in March wasn't the raw, focused Tank. That was a disturbed version of him. That was the time he needed us the most, but we weren't there. We were too caught up, and now we're paying the price. So this isn't just Tank's second coming. It's all of us returning as one, in unity. I doubt Lamont will even hear the final bell once the heat reaches him. Naturally, much of Lamont Roach's response later was aimed directly at Leonard Ellerbay's remarks.
When it got active, do you go into a press conference like, I'm trying to make a movie or I'm trying to match energy? Like, what's your approach to a press conference?
Be chilling, like how we all right now. You hear me? Like, yeah. I be in my element. 9 times out of 10, I'm thinking about the fight and what I'm gonna do. But
As for Gervonta Tank Davis, when it was finally his turn to speak, he wore an unusually serious expression. Clear sign that he means business this time. He appears to have learned from his past mistakes and seems intensely focused on avoiding a repeat of what happened before. Thank you everyone for believing in me again. I've grown and I've learned. I know what it feels like to be at the bottom, but trust me, things will be different on August 16th. I'm unleashing the beast that's been locked inside me once and for all, Tank stated with conviction.
I rule a weekend. I rule a weekend for sure. He just doing what he have to do, trying to psych himself out for the fight and things like that. But come March the 1st, it's all about skill versus skill, and who had the better skill that night is going to be the victorious person.
Many believe Gervonta Davis is the only one stepping into this rematch fueled by the desire for revenge. After all, he was the heavy favorite in the first bout and had rarely gone the distance in his career, only on 2 prior occasions. For that reason, most boxing fans viewed Davis as the man returning with something to prove, determined to avenge the blemish Lamont Roach left on his once pristine record.
Great talent, you know, fighting on the card Saturday night. So I just want to be here and give it my all. You know, I'm grateful and happy to be a part of this event and be able to be at this level in my career. So I want to just say thank y'all for coming out.
But the real story is that Lamont Roach was actually the one wronged in the first fight. The draw, as many believe, was a result of a coordinated mishandling from the judges, the referee, the World Boxing Association, and the New York State Athletic Commission, all seemingly contributing to questionable decisions that marred the outcome. So if anyone should be chasing revenge, it's Roach, who had the biggest win of his career stolen due to what many are calling a moment of sheer negligence by boxing's corrupt authorities.
What do you have to do to create enough separation where this don't happen again?
Whew, that's a good question.
it's going to be based on my training camp. I have to push myself a little harder if that didn't get me the win. And I have room. I definitely have room.
What makes this rematch even more compelling is the potential it holds to spark a trilogy. It's already clear that both camps are fully invested, making the rivalry electric. Throughout his career, Gervonta Davis has been linked to possible rematches with previous opponents like Ryan Garcia and Isaac Pitbull Cruz, but nothing ever materialized. That changed when Lamont Roach upset the odds and forced a draw. Many believe this second bout will mirror the first, as both fighters possess similar technical skills and high-level ring IQ. What sets Roach apart, though, is his granite chin, a trait that allowed him to absorb Tank's hardest shots as if they were nothing more than gloved taps.
And crack you into, you know what I'm saying, you might end up on the floor. Everybody not built the same. And that's what people getting messed up. He did a whole lot of things that was good in that fight. A whole lot. And I'm telling you right now, if he wasn't as good of a fighter as he was, that would have been, you know what I'm saying? I would have steamrolled him. Don't get that misconstrued. He's still the guy he is. It's just he ran into a guy that's on the same level.
Tank's usual dependence on his knockout power might not serve him well in this rematch. If he hopes to stand a real chance, he'll need to rely on his boxing skills and find a way to outbox Lamont Roach. Lamont Roach is a dog, July. For sure, one fan posted, alongside a gif of Roach landing a clean hook during their first fight. Roach thrives in close quarters combat, staying in the pocket and trading shots even under heavy pressure, something that poses a real problem for Tank, who's more accustomed to opponents retreating the moment he throws.
When you lock up, is he strong? Too small. Tell that man too small, bro. Y'all in the same weight class.
That's a new weight class for me. A new weight class for me.
That's what I'm saying. That night y'all was in the same weight class. And you still feel like you too small?
He was too small.
Dang.
I'm just calling a spade. No disrespect, no nothing. He's just too small. I've been in there with some big guys.
There's a lot to anticipate in the rematch, and the recent face-off was just the opening chapter in a battle that's set to intensify all the way to August. The March 1st bout between Gervonta Davis and Lamont Roach Jr. remains one of the most debated boxing matches in recent memory. The controversial draw left fans wanting more, and it didn't take long for the boxing world to start demanding a second showdown that would settle the score once and for all.
Tank won the rematch. Let me know now. Do you want to fight Tank again? He said he open to do a rematch. Do you want to fight Tank
100%.
again?
It's only a matter of time. We're gonna fight. We're gonna fight again. It's just whenever the fight gonna happen.
So it's gonna happen.
It's gonna happen.
Okay. They say they want it in New York again. Do you want to fight again in the Barclays Center?
I wouldn't mind, but I'd love for it to be in DC.
Okay.
I'd love for it to be in DC.
It soon became obvious that both camps were eager to make the rematch happen. A post from Sports Illustrated's Chris Mannix confirmed the buzz, stating, "A Tank Roach rematch could happen as early as June 21st in Las Vegas. Both sides are now committed to running it back." With the venue and date nearly locked in, social media has erupted with fans debating who will walk away victorious. Some are backing Roach, like one user who posted side-by-side photos from the first bout, and captioned them, "Roach is beating that guy again, mate."
I just so happen to be a boxing fan that the fact that I do watch him fight, you know what I'm saying? Like, I really like boxing.
Are you open to immediate rematch?
In my contract, immediate rematch was signed. I signed for the immediate rematch when I signed for the first fight.
Right.
Just in case he lost or just in case it was a draw.
So when you got a rematch clause, how long we taking?
It's up to the A side and when they want to fight. So I'm thinking it's gonna be soon. I'm hoping it's gonna be soon. Let's say that.
What is soon to you? When you say soon to me, I'm thinking a month.
I'm thinking July.
I'm thinking July for sure.
Another fan shared a humorous gif of a cockroach wielding a lightsaber, a clear nod of support for Roach. Still, plenty of fans are backing Davis in the rematch. One fan commented, "I thought Roach won the first fight 115-113, but I think Tank will make adjustments and win the rematch." Another added, "Roach will be very competitive, but Tank will KO him in the later rounds." As the rematch date draws nearer, the buzz surrounding this bout continues to grow, with opinions from both sides fueling anticipation.
That was the first fight in a long time when Tank first started. His body was that defined. You see how his body looked?
As for the first fight, it was expected to be just another routine night at the pugilistic office for Gervonta Davis and his team. From the moment his clash with Lamont Roach was announced, Team Davis showed no signs of concern. Roach was a familiar, face with a solid, respectable record, and though he held a title, he was seen as the smaller man and a clear underdog. But Roach entered the ring with a chip on his shoulder, boxing brilliantly from the outside early on. Even when Davis forced The fight into close quarters and Roach had to abandon his jab. He handled it without hesitation.
In that DMD area, there's a lot of talent, and nobody wants to lose. Nobody wants to lose. So I knew it was going to be a hard fight. This has been going on forever. We all help each other. They know our strengths, they know our secrets, we know theirs, and vice versa. So that is what made for a good fight.
By the time the final bell rang, the crowd inside Brooklyn's Barclays Center stood in disbelief. They had just witnessed 36 minutes of non-stop action, but no one could say for sure who had done enough to win. As the judges' scorecards were being tabulated, Team Davis waited with quiet confidence. But those early smiles quickly faded when the result was announced. A majority draw. For the first time in his pro career, Davis exited the ring without a win. Backstage, he slumped into a chair while his team, including Barry Hunter, who had stepped in for Calvin Ford, shook their heads. From Hunter's point of view, the judges had it all wrong. In his eyes, Tank had been in a real fight.
Having a fight. Well, I knew he would be hungry. I knew he was going to fight extremely hard. I told you earlier, Lamont Roach was ever a cheat date, so we knew that going into this fight. I thought there were times, there were opportunities when we were inside. We should have took advantage of a few things on the inside, but for the most part, this was a fight based on strategy. This was a fight actually.
There's no point in being dishonest about it. Barry Hunter remains fully convinced that in the final rounds, Gervonta Davis turned a close, back-and-forth battle into a decisive win. "We take our hats off to the other side," Hunter told S News. "But I thought, down the stretch, the last 2 rounds sealed the deal. I thought we pulled it off. The only real hope for Davis in the rematch, many believe, is if he commits fully to his craft, just as he claimed he would after the draw." Following the disappointing result against Lamont Roach, Davis revealed he would only take a week off to rest before diving right back into training.
Going through your mind when you heard the decision?
Nobody like a draw, you know, from a guy that get knockouts and things like that, but it's cool. I feel like if we fight again, I could do more, and I should have did more. I was lost in I lost track in the rounds. That's why we need, what is it called? Yeah.
Regardless of what's happening behind the scenes with Gervonta Davis, boxing fans are eagerly looking forward to the rematch with Lamont Roach. This time, all eyes are on Davis to live up to the bold promise he made after their first encounter. "I'm gonna chop, bob, and weave. I'm gonna end it in the 9th round," he had told Roach. "I like showing people they're not who they say they are, and I love proving it to their crew too. The first time I won a title, the entire building doubted me. Now he has a chance to make them believe again."
I didn't know what round it was. Facts.
Tank, Eric Blum from DailyMail.com. First off, your coach just said, can you confirm, did you get your hair done 2 days before the fight?
Yeah. I ran water over it today, but I must ain't do it enough.
Can you describe what the feeling was like in the ring?
But let's take a closer look at the context. A 5-time 3-division world champion, Davis made his return to the Barclays Center, the very venue where he broke records in May 2022 for the highest-grossing and most attended boxing event. After knocking out Rolando Romero in spectacular fashion, at the press conference for the upcoming rematch, the tension between Davis and Roach reignited, fueled by a rivalry that traces back to their amateur days. And when they finally meet, in the ring, both men have promised nothing short of fireworks.
I say 9th round.
What?
I say 9th round.
You said 9th?
Yeah.
What's your response to that, Lamont?
Look, he got scared. Look, he looked at 9th.
I'm telling you,
Gervonta Davis said, "The energy from the crowd here is amazing. I won my first championship in New York, and I've got more fans here than almost anywhere else. New Yorkers bring a different kind of passion." Reflecting on Roach, he added, "Lamont's got real skills, even at a smaller weight class. He's one of the guys I came up with in the sport, and he's still thriving. He's a top-tier opponent, and on March 1st, everyone's going to see it. We'll definitely test his chin. He thinks my past opponents were soft? Okay, let's see. I say, leave the kids at home." Lamont Roach, in turn, responded, "I shouldn't be here if I didn't believe I'm going to win. I've hurt everybody I've ever stepped in the ring with, and this won't be any different."
You going down in the 9th? You know that power curry late.
I know you got some sneaky power. That's what I do know.
What?
Who said that? You said
My
what?
man over
You
there
said what?
This is a huge opportunity, and we're going to conquer it, Roach continued. Everyone knows what I'm coming to do, and if they don't, they're about to be surprised. I'll show what happens when two real dogs step into the ring together. My team built me from the ground up, same team from day one. We've taken the toughest fights. I fought my way to the #1 contender spot, took a loss, and bounced back. We even share a common opponent in Hector Luis Garcia, and I beat him easily. That fight was smooth. It is what it is. Frank was inexperienced and nervous. This fight will be different. When he fights me, he'll become a different version of himself.
Was it to get the towel out to get the burn out of your eyes, or what was going on? And
I didn't want to get caught. I didn't want to get caught while my eyes was burning. And you know, like, you can get knocked out like that. So I'd rather take the knee than, you know. But I didn't really know that you can, like, get disqualified for all that. Or, like, when you start counting, I'm like, what the hell? But I don't know. It's cool.
Do you want that rematch next? And if so, how likely?
There's a big difference between fighting in the amateurs and stepping into the ring as professionals now, Roach explained. We've both grown. We've both evolved. Sure, there might be some habits we remember from back in the day, but none of that will matter under the bright lights. I'm not worried about being the underdog or the favorite. Either way, I'm walking away with the win. There's been plenty of discussion surrounding Tank's decision to face Roach. So when Lamont finally got the mic at the presser, he didn't hold back in sharing his perspective.
Talk. How much you want back? How much you want it back? Because I came up here alone. How much y'all want back? How much you want back? Just call it out. Huh? 100? That's a bet.
This is a major shot, and we're going to own it, Roach declared. Everybody knows what I'm here to do, and if you don't, then stop doubting. Because you're in for a surprise. I don't think Tank is surprised, though. I actually think he took this fight because of all the trash talk, all the noise. People doubting him, people doubting me. He knows I'm a dog, and he wants to test himself against that. So I'm going to show y'all what happens when two dogs meet in the ring, and obviously I'm going to be the one coming out on top. Then it was Davis's turn. I'm excited to be part of this. Come March 1st, it's going to be a great event. I'm not into all the hype right now, I'm kind of zoned out. But March 1st, just wait. It'll be a show. Same result. We've got 3 months to get ready. It's going to be a good one.
For you, in your next fight?
He has skills. Even though he's at a smaller weight class, I feel as though Lamont have, you know, and he's someone that's one of the guys that I actually started with and, like, you know, came out with.